Now on 18 Eyewitness News.
Farmington voters may have their say on a smoking ban. Fredericktown prepares to address water and sewer problems. And the Piedmont Police Department are cracking down on park vandals. All of these stories, and could we see 90 degrees by the weekend?
Coverage you can count on. This is 18 Eyewitness News.
Hello, everybody. I'm Fred Dawkins. Thanks for joining us. Here's the top stories we're working on this hour for you. The idea of a smoking ban in Farmington is picking up steam. Mayor Mitt Landrum says city surveys have shown about two-thirds of residents would like to have a ban on smoking. Now, after consulting with restaurant owners in the Farmington area, Landrum felt the council should address the issue. However, he also felt the ban should be voted on by the public. He says Administrator Greg Beavers drafted a model ordinance that the city council could pass, subject to voter approval.
And the reason we wanted to do it that way is because then everybody knows exactly what they're voting on. If you typically with a referendum, you put a paragraph about it on the ballot and nobody really gets to see all of the details of it. And this way we thought, okay, we'll have the entire thing out in the public. The council would vote, assuming they would say, yeah, let's go ahead and put it on the ballot. Then everybody would know all the language, all the ins and outs. Then the public could go vote on it, yes or no.
However, Landrum says since Farmington is a third-class city, it is not allowed to do that. So he and Beavers met with area state lawmakers in Jefferson City last week to get legislation allowing the vote passed. However, if the bill doesn't get approved, Landrum says there's another way to hear from the public.
Our fallback plan is to have go ahead and put it on the ballot anyway, and then the council will know absolutely perfectly clearly what the public wants and vote that way. But it can't be binding by the public, but it's the next best thing.
So it seems Farmington residents will have their say on a smoking ban by voting on either a binding or non-binding resolution in November. However, at least one city council member has serious reservations about a smoking ban. We'll hear from that council person tomorrow. Now Dustin Kopp is here with a look at our first forecast. Dustin, what's
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. Temperatures right now, nice out there, 78. It's a little humid, though, in Festus. 78 in St. Genevieve. Cape Girardeau, one of the warmer spots, 81 rather. 84 down in Poplar Bluff, and 82 right now in Van Buren. This evening, temperatures are going to continue to be on the mild side. Partly sunny at 7 p.m., 79 degrees, 76 by 9, partly cloudy, and partly cloudy, 73 by midnight. At the bus stop in the morning, we'll continue to see partly sunny skies. Temperatures on the mild side near 70. With a south wind 10 miles per hour. What's in store for your day on Wednesday? I'll give you all those details coming up later in weather.
Fredericktown is preparing to address the water and sewer issues which have plagued the city for more than a decade. Between the rate increases passed by the city council last year and the sales tax approved by voters in April, Fredericktown now has the funds to start working on their problems. Utility manager and assistant city administrator Stan Gilliam says one of the first issues are the old clay pipes making up the city sewer lines. The Environmental Protection Agency has cited the city for infiltration and inflow problems with the lines. Gilliam says after studying the problem, they finally have the funds to fix it.
And we're starting to convert into the phase of going in and making the repairs that need to be made. We've made some, but they're not hardly even a scratch on the surface of what we've got to do. And between the rate increases that were passed in December and also the sales tax that was just passed, hopefully we're going to we will have money to start making the improvements that we've got to make.
Gilliam says thanks to keeping the EPA updated with the city's research, the government agency has given them some leeway.
We're going to have to put together a schedule, a list of activities, what repairs we're going to make, and then present that to them, and hopefully they will accept it.
Gilliam adds Fredericktown is also under an October 2013 deadline to make one set of improvements to the city's water plant and then another set of improvements 1 year later. A cadet man is facing charges of murder in the first degree and armed criminal action. Washington County authorities arrested 46-year-old Martin Gorse on Sunday. Deputies were dispatched to 183 Hour Road in Washington County, where they found 31-year-old Ron Coleman in the living room with a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Gorse was arrested at the scene. He's being held in the Washington County Jail on a $1 million bond. A Poplar Bluff woman is on trial this week in Carter County for involuntary manslaughter. The charges against 29-year-old Radina Proffer stem from a July 5, 2009 incident on the Current River in Ripley County, where 25-year-old Josh Burson and 11-year-old Jerry Moat both died after a boat collision. Proffer is charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter, assault, and child endangerment. Authorities contend Proffer was legally intoxicated and caused the accident by operating her boat irresponsibly. Now the case was moved to Carter County on a change of venue. The trial before Carter County Circuit Judge David Evans is expected to take 3 days.
You're watching 18 Eyewitness News with Fred Dawkins, Dawn Arnold, Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp, and Jeremy Martin with sports. 18 Eyewitness News continues.
Piedmont authorities are on the lookout for vandalism in city parks. Police Chief Richard Sanders says his officers have started foot patrols to address that problem.
We've put extra patrol on and extra watch. We got some of our officers walks around at night instead of driving up and giving the kids a chance to run.
Sanders says while the vandalism has been minor, it will have consequences.
Right now the vandalism has not really been real destructive, just turning over trash cans and throwing rocks up on the picnic tables and trying to start some fires in the restrooms. But we are watching this very close. If you get caught, it will cost you a price and you will be barred from the parks from now on.
Chief Sanders reminds residents that Piedmont's parks close at dark. Fredericktown High School is hosting 2 MOCHIP programs the first 2 Saturdays in May. MOCHIP, which stands for the Missouri Child Identification and Protection Program, collects information for authorities in case a child goes missing. Resource Officer for the Fredericktown R1 School District, Deputy Jason Leask, says MOCHIP starts with parents filling out information about their children. Then the child goes through a number of stations.
Bring it down the station, the officers can put it right in the computer, and it's directly linked to Amber Alert. So all the information, all the pedigrees of the child, all the identification marks on the child, the medications the child's on, and then also a front view, a side view of the child, fingerprints, and a dental biplate with canine scent.
However, Leask says authorities do not keep the information that is collected.
And this gives us a little bit more of a jump on things if a kid ever does go missing. You know, gives a little jump on the system. You know, if the kid's gone within 20 minutes, you bring down your station. We have it popped up on Amber Alert.
Leask says more than 141,000 Missouri children have gone through the program. Your child can go through the MOCHIP program this Saturday or next Saturday at the Fredericktown High School cafeteria from 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. The program is free of charge and sponsored by the Masonic Lodge number 110. A Frona man will pay more than $1,300 in fines and court costs after pleading guilty to 17 charges of taking wildlife illegally. 22-year-old Eldon Edgar Lukey made the plea in Perry County Circuit Court last week. In addition to the fines, Lukey could have his hunting and fishing privileges revoked at a later date, according to the Missouri Department of Conservation. The department's investigation, conducted in December, found dozens of deer and turkey trophies representing years of illegal hunting activities.
Now, here's your Storm Tracker 18 weather forecast with Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp.
And welcome back. Plenty of sunshine makes a return for a while, and temperatures are going to start warming up. And then Saturday's temperatures continue to warm up, but as we fine-tune the forecast, they may be near 90 degrees. Here in southeast Missouri, temperatures are in the 70s, close to 80 degrees. 81, though, in Cape Girardeau, 82 in Piedmont, 84 in Poplar Bluff, 79, one of the cooler spots in Potosi, and 78 right now in Festus. Here at the station, we have a current temperature of 80 degrees under a partly sunny sky. Feels like 80 out there with 64% is our dew point. 64 is our dew point. Humidity at 58% with a south wind at 11 miles per hour. Today, we saw some rain this morning and then plenty of sunshine this afternoon. It was a little humid out there, but we're going to see plenty of sunshine through southeast Missouri on your Wednesday, and that's going to continue for the next several days. So for tonight, low of 65, clear skies, south wind 10 to 15, 62 up in Festus, 64 in Ironton and Piedmont, 66 in Poplar Bluff, and 65 in Cape Girardeau. Tomorrow, it's going to be on the warm side, high of 89. It's going to be near 90 with temperatures in the upper 80s to near 90, 90 degrees in Ironton, Van Buren at 89, 89 in Poplar Bluff, plenty of sunshine, and 88 in St. Genevieve. So for the next several days here in southeast Missouri, it's looking like this. 89 on Thursday, probably sunny sky, a little bit cooler, not much though. Friday, 87, 86 on Saturday. May reach near 90 on Saturday. We're, like I said, still fine-tuning that forecast. 87 on Sunday, partly sunny sky, mostly cloudy. On Monday, 83, and then 86 and partly sunny on Tuesday. And another look at our weekend forecast. As I said, we're still trying to fine-tune this forecast on Saturday. The reason being is because some indications are saying that temperatures will be around 91, 92 degrees. Well, as we get closer, we'll let you know. But 86 right now with a partly sunny sky, 87 on Sunday with partly sunny skies. That's check of your storm tracker weather forecast. More details are located at froggy96online.com. Just click on the weather tab. Fred, back to you.
This is Sports Zone, only on 18 Eyewitness News with Jeremy Martin.
The Cardinals' starting pitching has been one of the significant stories in the first month of the season, even without a victory from injured Chris Carpenter or the winless Adam Wainwright. Even on days when starters don't have their best stuff, the Cardinals usually get a quality start. 3 earned runs or fewer allowed in 6 innings or more. Somewhat overlooked is the bullpen, probably underworked in some areas because of the efficiency of the starters. In April, the relievers compiled an earned run average under 3. None of the Cardinals' relievers have been overworked with the length of most of the starters' appearances and the many off days early in the season. That's expected to change in May when the Cardinals have only 1 off day on the 10th after being scheduled for 5 off days in April. Wainwright goes for his first win tonight when the Pittsburgh Pirates come to Busch Stadium. The Blues gave up 5 goals in the first 23 minutes of Game 2, as many as they allowed San Jose in the last 3 games of their first-round series, and went down 2-0 in a 5-2 loss to the Kings on Monday at the Scott Trade Center. Having lost the first 2 games at home, the Blues are in a big hole as they head to Los Angeles for Game 3 on Thursday. The Kings scored 31 seconds into the game and never looked back. In the wake of the Blues losing Alex Pietrangelo to a push into the wall by LA's Dwight King in Game 1, there were mean spirits throughout, which only got worse once the Blues fell behind by multiple goals. There was a total of 110 penalty minutes between the teams, including 10-minute game misconduct penalties on David Backes and B.J. Crombeen and the Kings' Jordan Nolan and Dustin Brown. When it comes to deciding how much taxpayers should know about plans to overhaul the Edward Jones Dome, the Rams are calling the shots. The team, which last month rejected a $124 million renovation plan from the St. Louis Convention and Visitors Commission, must present the commission with an alternative plan to upgrade the dome to first-tier status. But the CVC maintains that it will not publicly release the Rams' plan unless the team gives it permission, even though public money likely would cover much, if not most, of the renovations. So while key officials at the CVC, city, and county will see what the team wants to do with the dome, taxpayers could be left in the dark. At stake could be the fate of professional football in St. Louis, as the team ultimately could leave town if talks break down. And after watching the 2012 NFL Draft come and go without hearing their names called, several Mizzou football players have agreed to free agent contracts with NFL teams. Defensive end Jacquise Smith has signed with the Miami Dolphins, joining former Missouri teammate Michael Egnew. Wide receiver Jarrell Jackson will return to his hometown to play with the Houston Texans next year. Defensive lineman Dominique Hamilton is headed to the Oakland Raiders. Offensive guard Austin Webbles is going to the Denver Broncos. And kicker Grant Russell has been picked up by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Do you see news happening in your neighborhood? Email us at news@kdkz.tv.
Interesting story Stacy Johnson had on here about New Year's resolutions, and if you keep them or don't keep them, if you care about keeping them or not. What was yours? I love it when I just ask you questions, I throw you off target.
Yeah, I really didn't have a New Year's resolution. I guess just be a better person. I'm thankful for everything that I've had in the last year or so, especially with my daughter being born. Her being born so early, it was a very scary time in our family, and I'm very thankful that she, is okay, everything's fine. So I guess my New Year's resolution was try to be a better person. Thank the Lord for everything He's given me.
That's one of the best ones I've ever heard. Everybody talks about losing weight or I'm going to do this or that, but being a better person, wow, that's one of the best. Yeah. I commend you for that.
Thank you.
Weather-wise, what are we going to look like? People have been calling me, Dustin, about the weekend weather. The Azalea Festival is coming up this week, and man, tons of folks down in Madison County are calling us saying, Fred, are we going to have good weather?
You know what? We're going to have excellent weather. As we get closer and closer to the weekend, that Saturday temperature for highs keeps rising and rising and rising. Early indications around 90 degrees.
Wow.
So we're still a couple days away from the weekend. We'll keep fine-tuning it as we get closer to the weekend, but it's going to look nice nonetheless. We're going to see plenty of sunshine, at least temperatures in the 80s. So it's going to be a nice time.
It's going to be a great time for the Azalea Festival. Their 50th Azalea Festival, too, and we'd like to salute the Fredericktown area and the Azalea Board for 50 wonderful years of Azalea Festival here in southeast Missouri.
Now, you want to know what scares me?
What?
Is I've just boasted that that we're going to have nice weather, and then Friday it's going to be like, we're going to see thunderstorms.
Oh, no.
It's Missouri for you.
It's Missouri. Folks, thanks for joining us here on 18 Eyewitness News. We will see you later tonight and then tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for our early morning edition. Have yourself a blessed evening. God bless, everyone.
Have a good evening, everybody. Newswatch is next.